Hassan Cambell and Wack 100, and phone conversations that are supposed to remain private. Big U and his response about celebrating Ramadan and how he was not feeding into the COINTELPRO and what that really means. And Kefee Dee is about to be arrested, according to Reggie Wright Jr. I thought Kefee Dee signed a proffer agreement granting him immunity. Who's Reggie Wright Jr. talking to? Is he talking to the FBI? How does he know? Basically, yeah. Let's get into this straight game.
Yeah. Blackjack. Life is like a game of cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it. To play each situation correctly. I remember they used to laugh at a brother.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's your boy DELRAY Richardson, platinum artist, platinum songwriter, Straight Game TV. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, tell a friend, and first and foremost, if you want to be one of the first people notified if you're new to the channel, when I drop some of this straight game, do me a favor and hit that bell notification. It's very much appreciated. I'm going to get right into it. Responding to a question from a brother from South Central, who's a subscriber to my channel. He was like, DELRAY, you talk a lot about Tupac and a lot of the facts that you drop are very relevant and powerful. But he said, but what do you think about the Hassan Wack 100 situation involving Big U, and about the Kefee Dee situation in regards to Reggie Wright saying that Kefee Dee is about to be arrested? And let me give you the first thing about the Wack 100 and Hassan thing, right? You know, a lot of times, you know, why people do certain things, they have their own motives and why they do certain things, right? How I look at that situation is, it appeared to me that the conversation that Wack 100 had with Hassan was supposed to be a private conversation, right? I don't know what Wack 100 intentions was in regards to telling him all of the information that Hassan had recorded in regards to what he released to the public, correct? But he felt like he wanted to release it for whatever reasons. And so when you think about that overall, it's like, what's the purpose? I mean, for what reason? You know, we're living in the microwave cycle type of environment, if you will, where, you know, it could be some stuff that's like trending this week, you know, really catchy and really hitting the algorithms on YouTube, you know, and people are getting views and things like that, and probably making a few dollars, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, a private conversation is supposed to remain private. You got people talking gangster stuff, you know, I'm gangster this, you know, it's real here, this is what, you know what I mean? And there's a certain code of ethics, right? That if you did have the private conversation, or if you did record the conversation, you wasn't supposed to release it. Facts. You can do what you want to do, right? But a conversation that's held in confidentiality versus somebody who you're talking to, right? You know, it's supposed to be that. If you respect that individual enough to sit there and listen to their conversation from that perspective. Now, with the Wack 100 situation, what he was saying, now that we know what was said in the conversation, right? You know, I don't believe nothing that somebody says unless I see the evidence. You can't tell me nothing about Nipsey Hussle than what he showed me while he was still alive. The entrepreneurship, the great music, the helping out in the community, the trying to live by an example and be a positive example of his community, despite how he came up and where he came up. You understand what I'm saying? That means more to me. That holds more weight to me than something that somebody can tell me involving somebody over a phone conversation or a personal conversation that I might have with them, if I haven't seen the evidence. And even if I see the evidence, I still had to formulate my own opinion based on the overall who that person is. I don't know what Wack 100 said was true or not. I don't. I haven't seen the evidence, right? And then to impute Big U's name in that situation, right? in regards to who he is and who he isn't. What I do know about Big U is this. I know Big U had the program going down there, I think with the mayor's office, City Hall or something like that, where he was doing the gang intervention and trying to stop these gangs out here from fighting. You know what I mean? I know he's always been trying to be a positive influence in his community since his release from prison, from what I understand. I don't know, you know what I mean, what's going on behind the scenes and so on and so forth. So as to the contract or the 30% that he was trying to get from so and so on, I don't really know about that. Wack might know about that. That might have been an actual conversation that he had with Big U, and Big U might have called him in regards to that, right? So that is what that is. But from the inception, I go back to the beginning of what that is, and what that means is I believe that Hassan was supposed to keep that conversation private. I just, overall, you had the information that you had, and it was supposed to remain private. Now, the releasing of it, meaning that, okay, you know, you can release this conversation, I guess you could call it revealing in the way that people say, okay, ooh, this is what this guy really thinks. This is what Wack 100 really thinks about A, B, C, who these people are, Gilly, Wallow, and all of these other things, and that stuff that we heard in the conversation, right? But I thought it was supposed to remain private. That's just my personal take on it, from a conversation between two men, and thinking that somebody's holding your conversation in confidentiality, because that's what it was. It was a private conversation, from what I understand. I don't think that was an interview or something that was supposed to take place. So from that perspective, like I said, I don't really look at nobody in a bad light. Wack 100, Hassan, or nobody else that was mentioned in regards to that, because I look at it like, you know, certain things are not for public consumption. Okay, now that you made it public, now what? What does it mean? What substance does it have? Because we don't know if none of what was said on that phone conversation that was released, if it's actually true. Far as we know, Wack 100 could be playing it up to Hassan, playing the whole thing up for whatever he thought that he could benefit out of the situation, right? But we seen that on the flip side, what Hassan did, he made it benefit him, and what appeared to be revealing information that Wack 100 was some kind of a snake or some kind of bad guy or whatever, and so on and so forth. I mean, we know Wack 100, and you know, he's on different platforms talking, and you know what I mean. And to me, I usually take it as entertainment. I don't really take it as like, you know, nobody's really trying to, do anything bad to anybody like that, because most things like that go unspoken and you just hear about it. You understand what I'm saying? So from that perspective, but yeah, you know, when we talk about that, and then let me get into this Kefee Dee thing, man, because the question that was asked, right? When you think about what was recently said, and I don't know where the information actually truly honestly came from. I seen somebody mention Reggie Wright's name in regards to that, Reggie Wright Jr.'s name in regards to that. And then I went and seen the video, but I don't know if he was the first person that said it. But let me say this. Who's talking to the FBI, right? In regards to the fact that, you know, Kefee Dee about to be arrested. How would you know? You know, they would have to be consulting with you, knocking on your door, and then you can give us personal information in regards to your interaction with the FBI or Nevada police or whoever else might be interested in arresting Kefee Dee. But people have been making videos as if they actually know. And then the video that I seen from Reggie Wright, it was like a 3-minute video. He basically asserted that that was about to happen with no evidence. What? So somebody can actually say something as if they know, not give you any evidence, not back it up with any kind of facts or substantive commentary or any kind of nothing concrete, and people run with that. it just says a little bit more about where we are as human beings, like I said, when it comes to the consumption of social media, if you will. So tell me, who talked to the FBI? Because I understand this, Kefee Dee signed a proffer agreement. And for most of the people talking about Kefee Dee's about to be arrested don't understand what a proffer agreement really, truly, honestly is and what it means. And let me tell you, Kefee Dee was basically given immunity for his testimony in regards to everything that happened on September 7th, 1996, the night that Tupac Shakur was shot. Right? So now, if you haven't seen the proffer agreement that Kefee Dee signed, nobody can speculate on when the police or the FBI is about to come and get him. Right? The only people that can really comment on that, I would believe, would be the guy Greg Kading and the FBI agents or agents that actually offered him the proffer agreement and the immunity in return for his testimony in regards to what happened. So when you hear people come out and say that, right, they really can't speak on that because they don't know. And I know people want to, like I said, I want to, if anybody wants to see any kind of justice done in the Tupac situation, I do. I knew him personally. But you got people coming out here mentioning things about Tupac and about the case. They never knew Tupac. Right? So once again, you got to take what you're hearing with a grain of salt and really understand you have to do your own research. Furthermore, when I watched the Reggie Wright interview, or should I say video in regards to Kefee Dee, he said, oh yeah, they've been knocking on doors and so on and so forth. And then he said, I need y'all to put a date in there and underneath the video in which y'all think that Kefee Dee gonna be arrested. And if you get the date right, I'm gonna send out some death row merchandise. Oh no, you know what? I might mail you $50. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And you took that with some kind of seriousness, as that was some kind of evidence or fact-based commentary? Come on, y'all. We got to do better, you know. And so what I'm saying is, like I said, you know, this is entertainment, you know, this whole thing. But like I said, when you come over here where I'm at, I look at, you know, it's like you got to maintain your relationships. And like I said, because this thing is all about relationships with people outside of what this is. So if I respect you, I respect what you do. You know, you've shown me that you a stand-up guy. I'm not going to sit here and believe nothing that nobody says about you because I know you personally, right? So they can't come and give me any information or, you know, pillow talk, as they say, in regards to who you are if you've been a stand-up guy with me, right? I judge you based on the merits of your actions, not what you're telling me. So now, once again, the Hassan thing, I felt like that was supposed to stay private. It didn't. Now we have a bunch of speculation, you know, the conversation that was overheard on the tape and so on and so forth, you know, and people saying certain things in which in the conversation that was released, which was supposed to stay private, there were a lot of things said about a lot of people. But you, as well as I, don't know if they're true. You can believe what you want. If you want some what they call it, incendiary, you know, conversation, you know, listening to, ooh, oh, you heard what he said, you know, and so on and so forth, you know, you think it's gonna start a, you know, a war and blah, blah, blah. I really don't think so, because I think that once again, Big U is an intelligent brother. I think Wack 100 is an intelligent guy. You know what I mean? But because he wouldn't be where he at right now if he wasn't intelligent. It takes a certain amount of intelligence, you know, despite what people may think about him based on his conduct and what they, you know what I'm saying? But I think he's brilliant in that way that he gets people talking about, you know, certain situations, you know, as well as Big U, as well as Nipsey, and so on and so forth. But let me tell you this. I judge Nipsey Hussle by what Nipsey Hussle did when he was alive. Right? Community activist, giving out jobs, looking after his homies, trying to, make his community and be a positive example in his community. That's how I remember him. Anything else anybody else got to say about him? It's irrelevant to me, because he's not here to really, truly, honestly defend that, right? Like I said, so yeah, I mean, in the question to the brother that was asked from South Central, I mean, that's the way I look at it, right? Like I said, you got to be a man first. You got to stand up as a man and present yourself as a man. See, after this internet thing is over, you got to show up in the room and know that what you said, you can actually stand on, and not be looking at or not be looked at as some kind of clown or some kind of guy who just out here trying to get clout because you have no real discernible talent to back up what you doing. You get it? Your boy DELRAY, straight game.